So have you ever thought about doing the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge? It's a challenge that covers in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales. Its three highest peaks, Pennygent, Whernside and Ingleborough, 24.5 miles in under 12 hours. Now I've done it 3 times now, twice in 2018 and once just last weekend. All sorts of different types of conditions. The first time I did it with a pal as fast as we could, and we did it just over 7 hours. The second time I did it in the summer of 2018, I organised a trip of about 30 people and we stayed at the old school bunkhouse, and it was more of a social walk. I did it in about just over 9 hours, I think. And last weekend, with my girlfriend and 2 dogs, I was filming. I've lost a bit of fitness since then. It took us a shade under 12 hours and we'll come down in the dark. Now, I'm not suggesting I'm an expert, but I have learned a thing or two about the sort of things that you might want to consider before considering doing something like the Yorkshire Three Peaks, and how you need to plan it, what you need to be aware of, and what sort of kit you need to take. So in this video, I'm going to talk about exactly that. It's coming up. Welcome back, my name's Eddie and this is my new channel, Walking Britain. If you're wondering where I am, some of you might recognise it, but just behind me, that's the Coaldale House. That's kind of the saddle of the Coaldale Horseshoe in the Northern Lakes at Braithwaite near Keswick. And those 2 hills up there, Hopegill Head and Grisdale, which we're going to be finishing once I've done this little video. So back to some do's and don'ts of the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge. I've wrote down a list. I might refer to it from time to time, but it's something you should really consider. It's a fantastic challenge. But if you're going to do it, what's absolutely crucial and you need to do is do some research into it first. Go on the internet, Google it, look at some photographs, look at some website, read some blogs, get a feel for how challenging this particular walk is, because I wouldn't suggest you just turning up and trying to do it. And that's what I would do first. Then start looking at some maps and get a feel for the distance and the total ascent that you're going to be doing. All 3 hills are roughly 700 metres, so it's not for the faint-hearted. You need to be reasonably fit to complete this. And then you start needing to think about the kit you're going to take, and that's very personal as well. There's no right or wrong as to sort of the kit, excuse me, that you're going to need to take. It's all dependent on you, your fitness, how you react to certain conditions like the cold, like the wet, how fit you are, so that what the weather conditions are going to be like, whether it's going to be hot, warm, windy, cold, raining. So there's a whole range of different considerations to be aware of. In broad brush terms, I highly advocate a layering system when coming on big walks like the one I'm on today, or the Yorkshire Three Peaks. I wouldn't be tempted to just wear a t-shirt and take a big heavy coat. You need to be able to regulate your temperature a lot better, and through a layering system, that's the best way to do it. And use high quality materials like merino wool, which will wick moisture away from your skin, pass it on to the next layer, and it can evaporate a little bit better than if you had a cotton t-shirt that'll hold on to the moisture in your sweat. And if it's cold, especially when you're getting on the top of those hills, you can become really quite uncomfortable very quickly. Boots or trainers. My default footwear for walking are trainers, lightweight trainers. I used to wear boots a lot, but now I love wearing trainers. I love the flexibility, how light they are. Boots, I find that they tend to just alter your gait a little bit. You can pick up little niggles and pains in your hips and your back. Having said that, today I'm wearing 3-season walking boots because the conditions are quite muddy and boggy, and it's cold, and I don't think it's a good idea to have wet and cold feet, especially if you get yourself into any trouble. So talking about trouble, carry a first aid kit as well. Take some paracetamols, some ibuprofen, some Elastoplast, some anti-blister patches, forgot the name what you call them, but also as well stuff for your dog. If your dog gets injured, you need some of that flexible stretchy bandage that you need to put on their paws in case they pick up a cut or something like that. You must check the weather, and don't be deceived. If you only check, for example, the Met Office or the BBC weather forecast, and it's 11-12 degrees with a moderate breeze with a 25% risk of rain, it's going to be completely different at ground level to how it's going to be at 700 metres, because at 700 metres those moderately comfortable conditions can turn into 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, horizontal rain, and with a wind chill, freezing conditions. And if you haven't got the right kit, if you're not prepared and you're struggling with your fitness, like we passed some people who were struggling on the way, you're going to find yourself in some difficulty. So read MWIS, the Mountain Weather Information Service. You can get mountain region or hill region specific areas like the Yorkshire Dales or the lakes or Snowdonia or Scotland, wherever it might be, and go to the latest weather forecast for what the weather's going to be like at, for example, 700 metres, not at ground level. Other do's, it's well signposted, the Yorkshire Three Peaks. You don't really need a map, but I would take one just in case. There's plenty on the internet you can order. There's also lots of people who are walking the same route as well, so you've got to be doing something really bad to get lost on the Yorkshire Three Peaks. Keep to the tracks as well. There are various charity organisations which volunteer their time, and they need a lot of money to maintain those tracks. So please don't be tempted to wander off round the side to create more erosion. Water, I would recommend you carry at least 2 litres of water each. There aren't many water sources, especially in the summer. But there is a van, a kind of a burger van at about 10 mile point at the Ribblesdale viaduct. You can buy water there, but I would carry at least 2 litres of water each, definitely. Food as well, take high energy food, stuff that's going to get sugar and carbs into your bloodstream straight away just to boost your energy. Jelly babies are a great one. These healthy snack bars that you can buy, high energy bars, get some of them, but bring your own sandwiches. Bring plenty of fuel, because I guarantee you're going to need it. Waterproofs, obviously, top and bottom. The weather's unpredictable. If it says there's 20% chance of rain, you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to rain when you're out there, and especially at the tops. You don't want to get caught out, so bring waterproofs. But also bring a warm jacket as well, something similar to what I've got on, a synthetic warm layer you can just throw on when you're at the top. If you take a down jacket, which warmth for weight ratio are better than these type of jackets, but they're useless if they get wet. And this is Britain and it's going to get wet. I would recommend a synthetic jacket like this. But also, if you can, download some mapping software onto your phone, like Outdoor Active or Ordnance Survey, and you get instant access to your exact location. But I should never replace a map. Only carry what you need as well in your rucksack. Don't bring the kitchen sink with you. You don't want to burden yourself and pick up injuries with too much weight. So just carry what you need. Spare jacket, spare waterproof, maybe just spare mid layer, spare socks you could consider bringing as well. I would highly recommend using walking pools as well. The science reckons that they can take about 20-25% of the burden off your joints by using walking pools. I've been using for years now. Highly recommend, especially as you're coming down. It's not a fashion show, but they're ideal. Just when you lose your balance, you've got something just to prop yourself up. I'm sure I'm going to think of 1 or 2 things more when I come onto the Dons, but enjoy it. Just take it all in. Say hello to everybody. Take plenty of photographs, take some videos, look at the scenery. It's a beautiful part of the world. So just put the pain and discomfort to one side. That's what makes you a better person, by putting yourself through discomfort, and enjoy it, because you will love it. Some of the don'ts I've put down. One of the big bugbears for me is litter. Please don't litter. Please don't throw your rubbish and your cans and your wrappers on the fells. There's a saying, what you take on the hill, take off the hill. Leave no trace. Consider bringing a little rubbish bag, or you could bring dog poo bags or nappy bags, especially for you ladies as well. If you want to go for a pee behind a wall, you need to adjust yourself. Take a poo bag or a nappy bag, so you can just put your items in there and put them in your rucksack. There's nothing worse. But talking about litter, misconception about bananas and orange peel, it's litter. Please don't drop your banana skins and orange peel. Granted, they're not toxic or poisonous to the environment like other litter, but they are unsightly, and litter does attract more litter. So please put your banana skins and your orange peel in some sort of bag and take it off the hill. I would say as well, it goes without saying, don't drink excessively the night before you do this, because you really don't want to do a 24.5 mile walk with a hangover. 1 or 2 people did on the second time I did it, and they had to drop out. There are lots of stiles and kissing gates to keep various cattle and wild stock in fields, so shut the gates after you. That's a definite. But also, if you've got dogs as well, make sure you keep them under control. They can't be trusted off a lead. Keep them on a lead, because round the next bend you can be assured that there's going to be some sheep. We didn't. Actually, there was 2 points on the approach to Ingleborough where there was some cattle, and they're a nightmare. So be wary of that, the cattle, because it can be a nightmare, especially with dogs. But also, don't go. I'd say lastly, don't go unprepared. Make sure you plan for this. Every eventuality, and the more you plan and guarantee, the more you're going to enjoy it. So anyway, that's me waffling on. That's the Yorkshire 3 Picks, my do's and don'ts. If you like this, give us a thumbs up as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you also want to see the video that I'm putting together now for the Coaldale Horseshoe, if you subscribe, you'll get a notification as soon as I've released that video. Anyway, until next time, catch you later.